William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet. His excellent works, including collaboration, consist of some 39 plays, 150 folk sonnets, 3 long narrative poems. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. And now I want to introduce you Sonnet 98. There Shakespeare shows the separation of lovers, where the guy spent the spring without his beloved, and despite all the beauties of spring, it was still winter for him, since he was away from her. Sonnet 98. From you have I been absent in the spring, when proud pied April, dressed in all his trim, has put a spirit of youth in everything, that heavy Saturn laughed and lived with him. Yet nor the lace of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odor and hue could make me any summer story tell, or from the prowler pluck the way they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lilies white, nor praise the deep vermilion in the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight, drawn after you, pattern awful those. Yet seemed it winter still, and you away, as with your shadow I with this did play.
Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, that's a never fixed mark that looks on tempest, and it's never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose voice unknown, also his height be taken. Love not time's full, sorrow the lips and cheeks, within his bending sickle compass calm. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon be proved, I never read, not man ever loved.
Prospero is a fictional character and the protagonist of William Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Prospero is the rightful Duke of Milan whose brother, Antonio, had put him with his 3-year-old daughter, Miranda, to sea to die, 12 years before the play begins. They had survived and found exile on a small island. He has learned sorcery from books and uses it to protect Miranda and control the other characters. At the end of the play, Prospero intends to drown his book and renounce magic. Prospero's Farewell to His Magic by William Shakespeare. Our revels now are ended. These are actors as I foretold ye. We're all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air, and like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this unsubstantial pageant faded, leave not a wreck behind, where such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
Hamlet's Soliloquy by William Shakespeare. The soliloquy is all about life and death. To be or not to be means to live or not to live. Hamlet discusses how painful human life is, and how death will be preferable. You didn't know what comes after death, but if you choose to kill himself, all of his headaches will be put to rest. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether it is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the headache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is thereto. 'Tis a consummation devoted to be wished, to die, to sleep. To sleep pertains to a dream, either is wrap, for in the sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us a poise, there is a respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who'll bear the whips and scorns of time?
To be or not to be is the most famous soliloquy in the works of Shakespeare and probably the most famous soliloquy in the world literature. In this soliloquy, Hamlet's mental struggle to end the pangs of his life gets featured. In fact, Hamlet discusses how painful and unhappy human life is and why death would be preferable, but he was afraid what awaits him after death. The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes. When he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin, who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and the moment with regards their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.